welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome. If you are a subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing. Welcome back. Thank you for sticking with me and for taking the time to like and comment on my videos. I'm a budget mama. My little family of three is working to a cash budget, and we're finding that this is really helping us stick to a budget and cope with the price increase. Everything is going up, food's going up, petrol is definitely going up, and we're not on a bad income. We have a part-time income and a full-time income, but you know, things they're a little bit tight. So without this budget, I think we would be on a slippery slope back into debt, which we tried so hard to claw our way out of a few years ago, and I don't want to go back there. So today I'm going to be stuffing my part-time income into our sinking funds and saving. So we've got 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45. We've got 145. I always take my part-time income out as like a round number, so I was paid 148, but I don't bother withdrawing the £3. They kind of sit in the account, and eventually that's going to build up, and you know, we might be able to buy a takeout pizza or something, but it's also that little bit of a buffer. So if I send my husband to the shops on the way home and he doesn't have our cash envelopes on him and he needs to buy some milk or a loaf of bread, there's a little bit of money in the account to do that. So we're stuffing 145. I'll have a look through the envelopes in here. Not a lot of money comes out of these, to be honest. So the fun money and gifts are the only ones that we really dip into at all regularly. Let's see what I've been spending the fun money on lately. Receipt in here. Oh, chocolate. I went to Hotel Chocolat and bought myself some delicious hazelnut milk chocolate, and it was lovely. So there's still some money in here. So we've got 10, 15, 20. I'll keep the notes in there and I'll keep the pound, but anything smaller than that is going to go to one side, and I'll put that in my penny challenge that I have just started, if you saw my last video. So we put £20 a week into fun. So let's grab £20, which means that we have 10, 20, 30, 35, 40, £41 in fun money, which I think, if I'm honest, I'm probably going to cap it at about 50 quid, because I don't want to keep paying into the fun money and end up with £100 or more in here, because then we will spend it. I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, 50 quid is going to give us a really nice meal out, or it's going to give us a day trip or something, you know, nice and a bit of a reward for working hard. Any more than that, and I think it's going to be, with all of the other sinking funds and savings pots that we have, I think it's just going to be a bit much maybe. So we dip into gifts semi-regularly, and this covers birthdays, Father's Day recently, cards, gifts and all of that. So there we go. So again, I'm going to keep the notes. There's currently 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, £35 in there. I'm going to take the change out, and that can go into my penny challenge. And I put £10 a week into gifts. Over the course of the year, this is going to add up to £520. We will never see £520 in here, because we'll be taking money out across the year for gifts and cards and stuff. But over the year, we'll have put a total of £520 in here, which should be plenty of money to cover gifts, cards. I mean, I make a lot of birthday cards as well, but if we do buy any specific cards, that'll come out of here. It'll cover birthdays and, like I say, Father's Day and Mother's Day, and it will hopefully cover Christmas as well. That's the goal. So that's £45 in gifts, which is fantastic. So I'm not sure if I'm going to put money into savings or not. I had to buy a new phone this week, and when I didn't buy a new phone, I got a new contract. So I've been on a SIM-only contract for at least 2 years. I think it was 3 years, because I was paying about £35 a month for Samsung of some description, and the phone was still fine, so I didn't want to kind of upgrade or go on to a new monthly contract for a new phone that I didn't need. So I dropped to SIM only, and I was only paying like £10 a month, which has been fantastic, and it saved us a lot of money over the last few years. But the phone was not good. It had been dropped probably 5 too many times. The screen's smashed, the back is smashed, it was refusing to charge or connect to my laptop, so the cable port wasn't working properly. And yeah, so I've had to concede, and I've had to buy a new phone. So so the phone hasn't cost me any money up front, but there have been a couple. It didn't come with like a USB-C charger, and I definitely needed a case for it. I mean, any women watching this, you know that pockets in women's clothes are not made for the massive phones that we have nowadays. They just, I mean, I can't count the number of times I've sat down and my phone just falls out of my pocket, which is definitely need a case. And I need one of these, like, the industrial military grade things that's gonna prevent my phone from smashing, because I'm just the queen of smashing phones. Not intentionally, I don't drop it in the loo or anything, but yeah, they fall out of my pockets and they go on the floor, and it's just a nightmare. So I've got a new phone, but I have had to buy a couple of little accessories to go with it, and I have ordered a new one of these cash budgeting binder things as well. So if anything, I think I'm going to take money out of savings. So this is my savings. So I've got 20, can't add, 20, 40, 60, 70. I've got £80 in there, and I would have put in 20. So if I put the 20 in, and then I take out, so the charger and the case and the binder have come to just shy of 50 quid. So if I take the 50 out and then put that, because it's been paid for on Amazon, so if I put that back into the bank, that will cover me. So there's now £50 left in savings, which is still pretty good. It's more than I had before I started this cash budget. So I'm going to put the 50 aside, and that's going to go back in the bank. So savings is sorted. Do that up. We put 20 towards the boat as well, so 10, 20. So if you are new to the channel, I do have a boat. It's only a little boat. It's not like a monster yacht or anything, but it's been sat for a long time and it needs a lot of work doing to it for us to get out on the water. The boat itself is sound. It's the engine that's it needs a bit of work. So we are putting money aside to be able to do the work on the boat that we need, and then we can actually, over the course of the year, probably, hopefully, save money by using the boat on the weekends instead of doing day trips or, you know, weekends away or whatever. So we've got 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, £100 in the boat fund. So we're about halfway to the next part that we need to buy for the engine, and hopefully that'll get the engine working, and then we can kind of clean her up, tart her up, and get using her. So a few more weeks of paying into our boat fund, and we should be getting somewhere. So that's that. So yes, so we've got the fund money, gifts, savings, and boat funds. So they're all sorted. And the next thing I put money into is our holiday fund, which is for a holiday in September. We're going away in September with my parents, and we need £500 for that. So each of these little envelopes has £50 in it. So we've got £200 towards the holiday already. And I'm going to put £50 in today. 10, 20, 30, 40, £50. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Fabulous. And I'm going to stuff another envelope. So we're going to stuff another one. So we're now halfway there. We are halfway to saving for our holiday, and that's going to cover accommodation and spending money while we are there. So I put all of the full envelopes to the back, so I know that I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks left, and we're halfway there. Fantastic. Oh, this feels good. I've got to tell you, if you are not doing a cash budget yet, and you are not if you don't have physical cash that you are saving, I can't tell you how good it feels to see it kind of building up, and it's just better for me personally anyway. I find that better than seeing the numbers on my bank balance changing, you know. So I've got 10, 15, 20, 25 left, and that is going to go into my yearly savings challenge. If you saw my last video, I said I was going to take it out of the tin because I feel like this is a bit noisy on camera, but I have not done that yet because I have the memory of a sieve. I'm actually doing 2 envelopes this week because I filled the number 10 on Wednesday. So I'm going to do 25 today, 10, 15, 20, 25, yes. So I can fill my 25, and then I'm going to do an Ebenezer Scrooge and count up what I've got just to see how much of a little kind of savings pot I've got, because it's just rewarding. So we're going to colour in number 25. So we've coloured in number 25, we put 25 in there, so let's see how much we have. So 97, 137, 167, 176, 190, 201, 223, 243, £253. If I am counting that wrong, do let me know. I don't have a calculator to hand. It's just great having that little bit of cash available, so if we did hit a snag, or as I mentioned in the previous video, I'm having an operation on my hand in a couple of weeks, so I'm going to be on statutory sick pay, so our second income is going to decrease to statutory sick pay. And there's going to be at least a week where I won't get anything because I only work 3 days a week, and the first 3 days on statutory sick are unpaid. So it's going to be a challenging month while I'm off. So having that little buffer is going to be brilliant. So penny challenge. So this is the 160 that I have left over from the last video. And we had 50, 70, 90, £1, 20, 30, 45, 51. So 151 and 160. £3.11. So I have... I said last time that I was going to make one of these, and I did, but by number 200, or around about number 200, I was making more and more mistakes. And then when I got on the other side, I lost focus and I kept making mistakes. So I'm going to get my husband to print me one off and I'm going to laminate it. But for now, I'm just going to start with the biggest number I can. So I said 311, I'm just going to double check. £3.11. So I'm going to colour in the largest number that I can in a delightful... There we go, I've got... The only colour I was seeing was a brown. So £3.11, or 311 pennies. So I've had this piggy bank for years, and he kind of sits on my shelf and looks at me and judges me. So I thought I'd put him to good use. So he's my little toothless. We got him from America a few years ago. And he's very cute, but he's very judgmental. So I'm going to cut out me putting the money in because that's just going to be noisy and annoying for you. There we go. So that's 311 pennies in my toothless. Let's pop him over here. So the idea behind the penny savings challenge, it's very much like the weekly challenge. So the weekly challenge, you put in the number of the week. So you've got, where's my piece of paper? So for every week of the year you have an envelope and you start with week 1, you're putting in £1, week 2 you put £2, all the way up to week 52 you put in £52. I'm not going to do it that way around, only because 52 is going to be, or should be, Christmas if you started at the beginning of the year. I've started in May. So around about Christmas I'll be trying to put like 30, 40 quid in there. And that, around Christmas time, is a lot of money. That's a couple of presents. So all I'm doing is when I've got money left over, I'll put it into whichever I can fill up. So early on, I started off filling up the smaller numbers. And then I was feeling quite daunted by having to save up £50 in a week. So I then kind of condensed those smaller amounts and put them into the bigger numbers. And that's worked really well. So I may do that again and condense some of these smaller amounts and move them to the more daunting side of the page. So that's the weekly challenge. And then the penny challenge is very similar. So for every day of the year, you have a little box, and so on day 1 you save a penny, day 2 you save 2 pennies, all the way up to day 365, which I didn't fit on my grid, oh dear. You save 365 pennies, which again I'm not going to do. I'm going to focus on the biggest number that I can save. So hopefully if I've got, you know, 6 quid in change, I could put a couple of the bigger numbers in and just slowly fill it up. And it's just a way to keep track, really. It's a way to motivate yourself and to keep track of your savings goals. And as you can see from the top here, by the end of 1 year you will have saved £667.95, which is going to be amazing. And it's not massive amounts. I know if you tried to do the last 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, if you tried to do the last 7 all in one go, in 1 week, then you'd be saving probably about 30 quid over the week, which is not a huge amount, but it might feel a bit daunting. Whereas if you you can do a big one and then a little one and then a medium one. You don't have to do them in order. You can jump around and fill what you can when you can fill them. So we'll see how that goes. I watch a lot of other YouTubers that do a lot of savings challenges, and some of them I think are a little bit over the top, but focusing on like the little ones, the penny challenge, or maybe sort of £5 a week for a year, or £5 a week for 3 months or something, it's it's just ways to motivate yourself. And it feels much more doable to do that than it does to maybe save £100 a month for a year. So yeah, we'll see how we do. So I think that's everything that I wanted to cover today. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you have enjoyed this at all, then do please give me a thumbs up. I appreciate everybody that has subscribed so far. I truly appreciate the time that you've taken to subscribe and to comment on my videos. That just, it makes me feel like I'm actually talking to people instead of just talking to my table. So I really appreciate everybody that is joining me for this journey, and I hope that I will see you next time. Happy budgeting!